Hey, listener, what's up? Thank you for pressing play. This week on the Jock and Nerd podcast, we cover a bunch of Spider-Man movie-related news, both from the MCU and Sony, reveal how many post-credit scenes are in Ant-Man and the Wasp, and find out if the new Red Band Predator trailer gives us any hope that this movie will actually be good. Plus, a full spoiler review of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, a movie about volcanoes and auctions, and there's dinosaurs in it. All that and more in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Thursday, June 28th, 2018.
Check one. All right, this is really fans out there. Let's give it up. We jockin', we nerdin', we funny, disturbing. We jockin', we nerdin', we spoiler alert. Oh yeah, we jockin', we nerdin', we funny, disturbing. Oh yeah, I'm jockin', we nerdin', we spoiler alert.
That's right. What's up? Hello, listener. Thanks for joining us, and welcome to the Jock and Nerd podcast. We're giving you your weekly geek fix of comic book and superhero TV and movie news, reviews, and whatever we choose. Jock and Nerd. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the nerd.
And right over there is a guy that, due to several restraining orders, can't go 500 feet near Sesame Street or its surrounding areas. He is not allowed. Of course, I'm talking about Really Rug Boy. What's up, Rugs?
Waka waka flocka.
You ever going to settle your beef with Fozzie Bear so they can remove these restraining orders?
Hey, listen, I'm the fucking funniest puppet that there is.
I agree.
Sorry.
Fozzie Bear took your stick and cleaned it up and did like a Brian Regan, I'm not going to swear, but he stole all your jokes, man.
Yeah. So, it's never going to be over. It's just going to continue till the end of time. It's fine.
Restitution will be made. If you're a new listener, you're probably really confused, but really, Rug Boy is a puppet. He's an actual felty American. I shit you not. Check out the show notes for this episode, jockandnerd.com/227. You will find links to everything we're going to talk about in this episode, all the news, all the reviews, and time codes. You see the title. We're going to do our Jurassic Park Fallen Kingdom spoiler review. Maybe you just want to jump.
Jurassic World, you son of a bitch.
I wrote this wrong, man. See,
Yeah,
I was hoping that it would be as good as one of the Jurassic Parks, but it's not. Anyways,
Not a chance.
not even close. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. If you want to just jump to the review, look in your podcast app, tap the picture, or go to the show notes, and you'll see exactly the time you got to scrub through. But I wouldn't do that because you're going to miss a lot of inside jokes and callbacks.
Yeah, don't do that shit.
Do that.
Make sure you change that to... Oh, you did.
I just did. Refresh your notes. Also, if you're a new listener, you guys, I know two things about this new listener right away. They have very good taste in podcasts, and they are looking for high-quality audio entertainment, which you're going to have to keep looking. Well, you're not going to get that here, listener. But I'll tell you where you can get it.
This guy.
He's very pleased with himself.
That's my peewee. I'll tell you where you can find high-quality audio entertainment. Stitcher's premium app. On the Stitcher app, they got premium content. Hey, you know what? I'll give you a free month. Go check it out. Just visit Stitcher.com/premium. Use the promo code NERD, and you're going to get a free month of Stitcher and find actual high-quality audio entertainment. I'm kidding, you guys. This is entertainment, right?
For some people.
It's audio. And I'm high as a kite. So that's good enough. There you go. High quality audio entertainment.
All right, dude.
All
Let's do it.
Let's get to the news.
What the fuck are you saying?
Yeah, this is a weird open.
You should expect nothing but a weird open. What? Have you forgot what fucking podcast you're on, fellas? Let's start. Well, we got a whole bunch of Spider-Man news this week. I'm very geek boner. Geek of the boner. They give me the geek of the boner. Let's start with the adorable Tom Holland. He's adorable. Adorably accidentally revealing the title for the next Spider-Man movie.
Oh, shit.
Have you guys seen? He did it on his Instagram.
It's not an accident.
You don't think it was an accident?
No, he's playing
it's
in.
planned out. Come on, Imran.
He's playing into the fact that he keeps getting called out for revealing spoilers.
Yeah.
So
I think it's smart of them to be like, all right, dude, you're going to be our guy to spoil this. Anyways, he's like, oh, I'm at the Comic-Con and I just got the script for Spider-Man 2. And he holds up his iPad and on there it says, Spider-Man Far From Home.
Geek boner.
The sequel.
Is Drew Barrymore in this movie?
Was that a Drew Barrymore movie? Was that the one with Adam Sandler and the Red Sox winning? That's a different movie. I get all the Drew Barrymore movies confused. What do you got left? First of all, Far From Home. So obviously they're running with this home theme. First one, Spider-Man Homecoming. Far From Home. I think they like to use the little spider thing in the O, their logo. But what do you guys think of the name? We thought it was going to be Spider-Man Field Trip. This is a little more creative than Field Trip.
I think they're just trying to use the word home and everything.
Yes, they will be using the word home in every Spider-Man title.
What could possibly the next one be?
Well, it could be like Miles from
Homework.
Homework. Oh, Spider-Man Homework. Spider-Man
Homesick.
Homie, don't play that.
Yeah.
You know what? Boss Logic. You guys know Boss Logic. That guy is sick. He does awesome fan artwork.
That's right.
He made a poster for Far From Home. That was really awesome. It was like Spider-Man standing on an alien planet and the symbiote was starting to go on him. I was like, that's awesome. But he made one for a third movie and it was Spider-Man's leg and Miles Morales' leg. And the title was Spider-Man Homies. I was like, that's not bad. That could be fun.
That could be funny, but they're doing that already animated, right?
Well, yeah, they're doing Into the Spider-Verse. Anthony, does this title mean anything to you at all? Does it matter?
It just confirms what we were being told that was reported is that he's probably going to be in Europe.
Correct. Kevin Feige has confirmed
they're switching up locations.
Yes.
So yeah.
He's already been in Europe for Civil War,
yeah,
though.
he was the first Spidey to leave New York.
But it was a fucking airport parking lot.
He didn't really get to
in Europe.
enjoy Berlin.
Sometimes that's all you get, folks.
Visually, not all that involved.
Kind of could have been anywhere, I guess.
Yeah.
Could have been anywhere.
Look, Feige has confirmed this is the title. So I guess, like you said, it wasn't a mistake. But he also said there's multiple meanings. What do you think these meanings are? For the obvious one, it's a European field trip, Far From Home. But we know this movie takes place after Avengers 4, and technically right now, Spider-Man's dust.
He is pretty far from home.
He's dusted.
His ashes are all over
spread
Titan.
all over Titan and little tiny. We need Deadpool in a shop vac to suck him up. So, what other meanings could we infer from Far From Home? Anybody got anything?
Maybe even though he's on a trip in Europe, he has to go even further somewhere else, like maybe into outer space.
Well, he's been in space, yeah,
or another dimension.
Metaphorically, like he's far from home from where he started. Like he was a newcomer, but now maybe he's got to step up and he's a bigger hero in public opinion.
I feel like we're like reading into this way too much. Like who gives a shit?
Kevin
really?
Feige said it's multiple meanings.
Like people are only people like you are freaking out about this.
Oh my god! Well, I freak out about everything.
Super Spider-Man fan.
Yes, let's freak out about this next thing, which is not. It's just a report. It's of a developing movie. Sony and Amy Pascal apparently developing a movie for Silk to expand their Spider Sony verse that doesn't have Spider-Man. I still don't know if Peter Parker's going to have a cameo in Venom, but this Silk is kind of interesting because it diversifies your character. It's the first Korean American heroine, and she's a very new character. Ruggs, do you like the Silk? Because it's invented by your favorite writer.
I really don't know. I don't really know a lot about it because it's a Dan Slott thing, so I haven't read a lot of
Correct.
Silk. But the idea of it makes more sense than a Venom movie because she doesn't ever have to meet Spider-Man.
But, yeah.
She's bitten by the same spider as Spider-Man.
Yes.
And they can allude to that some way without actually having Spider-Man there.
Well, they could do a lot of clever things. Anthony, are you familiar with Silk at all?
I know who she is, but other than her being bitten by the same spider, I think she came out of the storyline with the Watcher.
It was before Spider-Verse and after.
But it was like where the Watcher, like all his secrets were.
Oh, that's right.
Exposed, so everything came out.
And that's where
like
Peter realized. Yeah, so
Thor there's female Thor and all this.
Right.
Crap.
Silk is Cindy Moon. She's a Korean American, and she was bitten after the spider bit Peter when he was in high school. It crawled off and bit her. Her powers are similar, but they're a little bit different. Her spider sense is better. She has a photographic memory. Like she remembers everything. And then the weirdest thing in the comic book was when the two met, they were really sexually attracted to each other. Like right away. They wanted to mate. Every time they were near each other, they just start making out. It was hilarious. So they try to stay away from each other, but her spider sense is a little bit stronger. Now we've seen Cindy Moon in the MCU already. She was in Spider-Man Homecoming. There was a character named Cindy.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep. And I don't know if they gave her last name in the cast list. She may be Cindy Moon. It was an Asian girl, and she was playing character. I'm like, it's Cindy Moon. That's Silk. So here's the fun thing they could do is if
that would be. Don't they not meet for a while, or she's like in a jail or something, isn't she? Isn't she like
Ezekiel? Remember Ezekiel from when the spider totem guy? He locks her away because like the Weavers and Moreland.
So that doesn't make sense that she's in Homecoming. It makes more sense that they start here, like with her being confined in some kind of underground base. So
she may not be
she doesn't even know where she came from. Yeah. But you can all point back to the fact that she got bit by the same spider.
Peter, like she's locked in this box literally for a decade, and Peter frees her, and then. Like Moreland and the Weavers, and they find her, and now she's in danger. But now she's out and about, and she works at the Bugle, and she's like a reporter also. Here's the fun thing they could do. They haven't shown us the Tom Holland's origin of Spider-Man yet.
Well, nobody wanted to see it.
Nobody wanted to see it, right? Now, what if in the Silk movie, you do a flashback to her origin, and you see Tom Holland get bit, and then you see her get bit, and that's the only cameo. And her story goes on from there. That could be kind of fun. I don't know.
Well, if they don't have a Spider-Man in Venom, they're not going to do it here.
Do you think he's going to show up in Venom? How are they going to?
I don't.
Can they? Jesus. Okay, look.
I got to say this. I like the idea of a Silk film. Yeah. I don't like the idea of Sony doing it without Spider-Man involved.
Yeah. Well,
and we'll get into why in this next news bit.
You're not going to like this next thing.
No, I don't like this next one at all.
This one is more concrete than the Silk thing. They just said, we're going to do a Silk movie.
Yeah, and to be fair, they said they were going to do a
Silver and Black has been pushed
movie,
back.
And that's been pushed back.
And they said Kraven the Hunter, and they had all these other things.
And if and when Venom bombs, because I'm predicting that right now, that movie's going to bomb.
Oh, boy.
I don't think they're going to be moving forward with a lot of these plans.
Here's a movie they're moving forward very quickly. They have a script, a director, and a star to starring in a Morbius movie, which is another Spider-Man vampire character, Jared Leto.
Oh, shit.
Set to star as Morbius. He got to suck as the Joker, and now he's going to suck as Morbius. Boo. That was horrible.
Be more funny.
Sorry, it's a bad joke. As Morbius is a science vampire. Now, okay, first of all, let's break this down. Jared Leto had a lot to live up to playing Joker. Worst Joker ever. This, I feel like, maybe more up his alley. He's a creepy-looking motherfucker. He kind of looks like Morbius, and there's never been a version of Morbius on the screen. This guy's an Oscar-winning actor. He could bring some heft to this, just like Tom Hardy in Venom. What do you guys think?
I don't have a problem with this movie as much as Anthony does. It just seems like a little late because the vampire craze has been done.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like an underworld, like... Yeah, I could see Jared Leto being like all in this, like, this goth type of, character and with all the rock music and stuff. It's like a little late.
So Morbius...
They could have done this maybe like 10 years ago.
When they made Blade, Morbius was supposed to be in the first Blade. There's an alternate ending. They were going to set that up there. You put Blade in this. Daniel Espinosa to direct.
They don't have the rights to Blade. They can't do that.
Oh, that's a good point. That's not a Sony thing. What do you think, Anthony?
Well, I read the description on this, and it seems like they're going the similar route to Venom, where he is kind of a villain in the comics, but they're going to play him up as an anti-hero.
Oh, the good old anti-hero.
And it just seems like Sony is stuck in like the early 90s in terms of like this playing up of an anti-hero thing where the villain has this edge. It's like that plus the early 2000s of superhero filmmaking where they were taking the name of the character and that was it.
Yep.
And translating it on screen. Like, this just seems so ass backwards to me.
And until we see Venom and see how they set up...
Until Venom bombs.
Yeah. You're not going to know. And
We're not going to know, but it's going to bomb.
And whether... Is Venom going to be... we know if it's R-rated or PG-13. Will there be a Tom Holland cameo? How are they setting up this Spider-Man-less Spider universe? Is this going to work? They don't give a fuck. We're going ahead with the Morbius.
Well, does Morbius need to be tied to Spider-Man? Like Blade didn't need to be.
Not as much, not at all,
Yeah.
not at all as close to as Venom.
Yeah, as Venom,
like
right?
Silk needs to be tied somewhat.
Yes.
Venom definitely needs.
Yes.
So it's like these make more sense than the Venom movie, which they made.
That's a good point. And
that's so weird.
Yeah, that's a good point. And Anthony, you're right. He is like Morbius was like originally a villain, but then he helps Spider-Man and he's like misunderstood. And so he does things his way sometimes. Yeah. So a lot of people may be like, oh, good. Now he won't make that goddamn Joker movie. Well, sorry. In Variety's coverage of this, they clear up any confusion about his future as the Joker. Variety's been told that Leto playing Morbius, quote, does not affect, unquote, him playing the Joker in the future.
I'd rather see a Morbius movie from him than a Joker movie.
I 100% agree. Absolutely. Because Joker is a lot to fucking live up to.
I'm out on both.
No. Jared Leto, stop making... Isn't he on tour with his fucking 30 Seconds to Mars, whatever the shitty band is?
You know he's won an Oscar? I didn't see that movie.
What did he win for?
Dallas Buyers Club.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Played a tranny.
I haven't seen that.
But the way the reports about him on set at Joker...
Yeah.
They're just so fucking weird.
Pretentious and obnoxious and unnecessary.
He's like, sending used condoms to your fucking cohort. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
So, like, it's like shitty method acting. Yeah. Like, it's so pretend. Like, you don't need to do that. Relax, Jared Leto. It's a fucking movie.
So, is he going to go around and just, like,
start biting people on the neck? Yeah. He's going to hide in the corner.
Is he going to carve his teeth into fangs?
Imran, dude. I don't know if they changed this for the cartoon, but they had him in the cartoon sucking blood with his hands.
Oh, he had suckers on his palms, right?
Yeah, but in the comics, he uses his teeth like a regular vampire.
He might have them on his hands too, which is really weird. I mean, he's it's a science-based vampire, so he like fucked with his genetics and created so he could put suckers on his hands. I like that twist. It's different. It's not like your typical vampire lore. But you're right. I mean, Twilight's ruined it. They've done Underworld. The vampire thing was like 10 years ago.
What's the best vampire movie you've seen in the past, like, 10 years?
Man, I don't even know. I don't think they've made it.
I mean, if you say Twilight, I'll fucking unfriend you immediately.
They haven't made a good vampire
movie. There's one called Byzantium that was really good.
Oh, I have not seen that.
And it's it's a completely different kind of take on the vampires. Not completely, it's just a little different, but it's the way that they made it different was cool.
I love when that happens. Like, I remember for a long time I was into all the zombie movies that each one had a different version of, the undead in TV shows. Like, there was a British show that was really interesting, but every aspect, and then Walking Dead just kind of oversaturated. It killed it. Everything gets killed, but maybe he could bring vampires back.
Bring them back.
Ugh, we'll see. This fucking Sony Spider Universe until...
They've been gone for like 10 years after the fucking Twilight debacle. Oh, goddamn.
Made a ton of money.
But
those movies were pretty bad.
Werewolves and vampires, used to be cool until fucking Twilight. Thank you very much.
Team Jacob, was that a thing?
Yeah, what is it? Who's the other one? Who's the other asshole?
Was it Jacob?
Fucking Edward Pattinson?
Yeah.
Kristen Stewart, who has no personality. She's the dullest fucking person.
And then the dude that played the werewolf.
Oh, Lautner.
Taylor Lautner.
Yeah.
Where are
Shark Boy?
Yeah. Kristen Stewart is not a bad actress in some of the more recent things she's done, but in that movie,
Taylor Lautner and Pattinson have like completely disappeared.
Yeah, they're not. They're not doing much.
They're not doing anything.
They're not doing anything. Pattinson would have made a good Morbius, I suppose, but that's because he was a fucking.
Fuck him.
Fuck. Okay, put Jared Leto or Pattinson. If you had,
I would
gun
Jared Leto. Okay, let's not get ridiculous here.
Okay,
yeah,
all right. Well, I'm just taking a baseline. Now we know everywhere.
Like Jared Leto's actually attractive.
He's talented too.
Would fuck Jared Leto over Pattinson?
Absolutely.
I'd hit it.
Absolutely.
Look, Jared Leto looks like he does a ton of coke.
He has that. Yeah, he has that anemic.
He has that
he almost looks like a chick, so I could do it. Yeah.
You squint your eyes hard enough.
He almost looks like a chick.
He's got that sexy crackhead body.
He does.
Perfect. It's perfect for Morbius.
Well, let me look up Pattinson. Robert Pattinson.
Look.
Okay, you dress them both up with wigs. I mean, you saw him in the Dallas Buyers Club as a girl.
I mean,
he looked very unattractive, but still.
If he shaves that beard off, I think he could be a good female impersonator.
Wow, he does look like a fucking woman.
He looks like
an ugly woman.
Leto's hot. A lot of girls like Leto, though.
Oh God.
He was in what was that show? My So-Called Life. He came from My So-Called Life.
was in Fight Club too, right?
Yeah, he was blonde and he played one of the waiters.
He's
and
the
then
guy that he bashes his face in because he wanted to feel better about himself.
And he loves it. He's good in Fight Club. He's a talented actor given the right director and script and material. The Joker in Suicide Squad was giving him nothing.
It's too much for him.
And it's too much, and he didn't know what to do.
He tried. He was like that guy that is just trying too hard.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is the trying too hard Joker.
He like the new guy that like thinks he was like the shit back at his old high school. He comes to a new high school and he's like trying to make an impression.
Nobody cares, dude.
And no one cares.
Your laugh is annoying. And nobody's ever told you that.
Yeah.
Everyone told me that.
Before we move on, I want to talk about, real quick, my favorite place on the internet. Can you guys guess what that is? Yes, Pornhub.com, specifically the Felty section. Did you know there's a puppet porn section on Pornhub?
Yes, I do.
You have it bookmarked, don't you? No, I'm talking about our awesome exclusive group on Facebook for our listeners, the Jock and Nerd Nation. Shout out, Nation. You guys are awesome. If you want to hang out with our listeners, you want to hang out with us, all three of us, me, Anthony, even Rug Boy, Facebook, let a puppet on to Facebook. You can interact with us at our Facebook group. I got to welcome a couple of new members. Welcome Scott and Kevin Beck. He said it's German. So I'm going to say book. Oh, you think it's book?
No.
Hey, just say it as angry as you can, and it'll sound
Scott
German.
and Kevin.
Yeah, there you go. Nailed it.
And Jeffrey M. Johnson. Scott gets points right away because he comes into the group and the first thing he posts is, I'm just here to not leave voicemails. Points.
Very good.
Points for you, Scott. Well done. And then another comment from Jimmy the Geek, some feedback. He said, I missed Roberto Bambino reading Stan Lee's tweets this week. Love that segment. Also, the trolling of David Mobley on Twitter by Ruggs is entertaining. Not only
said that?
Jimmy the Geek.
Oh.
So not only is Rug Boy's trolling entertaining, it's masterful. That is a masterclass in trolling, reverse trolling. But regarding the Stan Lee thing, you guys, funnily enough, once he took out that restraining order against his business manager, Kia Morgan, who he constantly said, Kia Morgan's my guy. I trust him. We're good friends. He takes out a restraining order. No more fucking tweets. Not since June 10th or 3rd.
That's it.
What? So clearly,
I can make some up if you want.
Okay, let's try one. The last tweet literally is, my only partner and business manager is at Kia Morgan, not all the other people making false claims. No more tweets after that, June 10th. So, sorry, Jimmy the Geek Ruggs. Why don't you channel Stan Lee? What would he be tweeting right now?
Excelsior. This is your pal Stan Lee saying, I'm so excited for Spider-Man Far From Home. Not. That's it. That's all I got.
Well done. That should be a Stan Lee tweet.
Yeah.
This is not my Spider-Man.
Nah. My Spider-Man had pubes.
My Spider-Man was banging chicks left and right.
What about Uncle Ben? Nah, talk about the rice.
Anthony, how excited are you for Ant-Man and the Wasp? We are a week away from Marvel's 20th movie coming out. Oh, shit.
I already have my tickets. I have my tickets for next Thursday, so you can definitely check out the next show and catch our review.
I also have my tickets for the Thursday night.
I got to get tickets.
Dude,
shit.
Get your tickets. Although, I got to tell you, it was wide open when I bought my tickets.
Yeah,
so.
this isn't Avengers Infinity War where you have to.
Do you think that it's going to hurt the box office for this? You think people are thinking, like, what is the point of this after what we just saw?
I have, like, no expectations for this movie, so it's going to be a fun watch, but
Absolutely.
I don't know how many people are like clamoring to get tickets to this. Like,
it'll do well.
Yeah, it'll do okay.
It'll do okay. I mean, it's not going to be Infinity War. No one's expecting that.
No.
As long as it makes, I think if it makes 600 million worldwide, it'll push Marvel to 4 billion for the year.
Just for this year. Oh, shit.
Like, this has not anywhere near the level of hype that any of those movies that came out
and
before
it can't. And this is the movie that this is going to be.
They're not going for
right. This is a kind of a in between, a little break,
palate cleanser, a fun, light, exciting romp. And a lot of these early reviews I've seen headlines. That's exactly what it says. Like, this is Marvel's.
So what do you think the opening box
amusing
office
movie?
Be?
I think it'll do.
Okay, so let's give you a comparison.
Yeah.
Last Ant-Man, did 57 million.
Really? Opening weekend.
That was it.
Wow.
Shit balls. And it'll probably do 80.
I was going to say 80. The budget's probably bigger. The cast is expanded.
It made 180 overall domestically and 519 over in the world.
Wow, 57 million opening, and that was probably good for what they
were
spent.
happy with that.
Yeah,
they were very happy with it. And I would agree with Ruggs. I'd say 80, 85.
I think.
How many times have you watched that, man?
I could watch it again.
I
it's
think
a
I've
fun
seen
movie.
it twice or maybe
I've
3
seen it
times. Yeah.
But it's a fun movie. It's a fun rewatch. This one looks fun. Evangeline Lilly looks to like steal the spotlight and really come into her own. Currently on Rotten Tomatoes, 90% people.
Oh shit!
There's only 70 reviews, and the average rating is actually 6.9 out of 10. And the
nice number. That's a nice number.
69. But like it says 90, but then it's really 6.9 out of 10. So. Yeah. I mean,
because the tomato meter is
has it not? It probably will get to like
shouldn't be the number.
Yeah,
it's a bullshit number.
Yeah, it's gonna fall to 80, but it is the 20th MCU movie to receive a fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
20 out of 20,
and I bet you it will be the 20th movie to open number 1. Every fucking movie has opened number 1.
It'll do well
on its opening weekend.
I would say overall domestically, it will probably do about 220 to 230. And it'll make the 600 million worldwide.
And see, that's fine. They're not like Warner Brothers, where like every movie that DC movie's got to make $1 billion, or we're fucked because we're stupid. Oh man, you go for the big. They got they've made $3 billion already.
Yeah, they're already
on
over
their way to $4 billion.
They can afford to lose one if they want,
but they're not going to make a shitty movie. That's the thing.
They're not going to lose money on this.
No, they won't. How many post-credit scenes?
2
post-credit scenes.
1 mid, 1 at the end. If this isn't really a spoiler,
yeah,
but this is more to help the fan. I hear the mid one is more relevant to things, and the last one's more silly.
Is more of the fun one.
So if you want to leave, you don't have to say the last one.
So here's my 2 things I'm really anticipating, trying to figure out. One is when exactly this movie takes place. Obviously, we know it's after Civil War, before Infinity War, but how soon before Infinity War? Is it possible that it's parallel almost? That it overlaps what happened in Infinity War? That would be exciting. The second thing I'm wondering is who's the real bad guy? We've seen Ghost. They're setting her up as the antagonist, but I feel like there's gonna be a turn. They're gonna need the help. She's got her own thing. Who is the real? Will it be Janet Van Dyne? Come back from the thing. Michelle Pfeiffer.
Goliath?
Could it be Goliath? There's Walt Goggins, which is the guy holding the building. He's not the main baddie. He's just some fucking guy. So there's a big reveal waiting that they're holding on to. So I'm excited to see what happens.
I'm excited because I know it'll be fun. I'm not like excited in the same way. There's no possible way you can recreate the excitement like Infinity War had, or even Black Panther.
Completely different.
But I'm perfectly fine with walking into this movie and just having a good time.
It's really well cast, man. Everyone's really funny. They're really good. And I want to see Michael Pena and Paul Rudd just like riff off each other. And I'm expecting a lot of laughs, a lot of visual humor, oversized things. It's going to be a good time.
You get to see kind of what Peyton Reed can really do.
Yes. Now without having to finish.
Without having the shadow of Edgar Wright.
Or finish Edgar Wr's, whatever he's working on. This is all Peyton Reed. Yeah. So I listened. The guys at Collider, they were like, you know what? Peyton Reed would be really good to do a Fantastic Four movie because he could kind of make it work.
There was 1 or 2 reviews. No, 1 review that I read. One that I read, one that I heard, and they both were pretty good, pretty solid reviews.
Nice.
Movie Bob gave this his thumbs up.
Nice. I think it'll be. I'm hoping it's better than the first one. They're definitely building on it. It's a big.
From what I hear, it's different.
Oh,
it's not the heist. Feel.
Ooh, interesting. It's all political scenes. It's everything.
It is
in
actually.
A courtroom.
Yeah.
The whole movie in a courtroom. There's a jar of piss on the table.
There's only like 3 sets in the entire film.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's all green screen.
They have the same mom name.
Why don't you say that name? Moving on to the Marvel and Disney and Fox merger. We're a little update.
Getting close.
They're a step closer. They countered.
They're on third base.
They're on third base. They countered Comcast bid, which was the first base, $71.3 billion. So what's happened this week is the Department of Justice has basically given them the green light for the merger on the condition that Disney, which already owns ESPN, divest all of Fox 22's regional sports networks.
Mm-hmm.
The government wants to ensure that sports programming remains competitive in local markets. They don't want a monopoly. But other than that, they're like, yeah, go ahead. That's cool. Buy them up. This still has to be voted on by the Fox shareholders. Now, I feel like they picked that number 71.3 very carefully, that maybe Comcast is maxed out at 70. Do you guys think they can scrounge up enough change? They'd have to come in with like a $90 billion counter offer if they wanted to.
I don't know. I don't know much about the finances behind this, but I believe Comcast's whole play was that they were doing a cash offer.
Cash deal. Cash
I don't know
money.
if they have any more money to do a cash offer.
It's like they went to a card lot and they're like, I'll give you all cash. What can you do?
I'll pay for this baby straight cash.
Straight cash, Holmes. What are you going to do? How much are you going to knock off of this thing? And then, Disney's thing is like cash and stock. Rugs.
Stock.
What do you think is going to happen? I feel like this is very close, and this kind of is starting to move a lot quicker than I thought.
Like, unless some crazy shit happens, I think it's going to go through. I feel like it's going to happen.
I think this may actually be a done deal. I'm not going to get my hopes up yet, but this is another step
you
towards
never say never.
Never say never, but a good step towards getting. We could see Avengers versus X-Men, Fantastic Four, all that shit back from the MCU.
I would be down for that.
Yeah,
whoa.
I'm holding back my hype for this happening.
You don't want to,
a lot of money.
Count your chickens before they hatch.
Yeah. This would be Disney's most expensive purchase also. So they're probably a little gun shy and nervous, but man, it's going to pay off. Ruggs, I want to talk about another thing Disney owns, Lucasfilm. You shared this video with us on the Facebook Messenger.
It's caused a lot of drama, this video.
YouTuber Grace Randolph possibly gets a scoop. Amazing.
Well, there's people saying that this is bullshit, by the way.
Oh, really?
So, Movie Bob, Drew McWeeny of HitFix, he came out and said that she was a liar and she's full of shit and she's just making shit up. So being on Twitter at Really Rug Boy said, it might be a lie, but until they say something to the contrary, people are just going to eat this shit up. And for some reason, Drew McWeeny got so mad.
Oh, you're pissing him off on Twitter?
Like, he was pissed off at me for just pointing out something that, like, unless somebody, she's a person that people watch, and there's going to be a segment of people that are going to believe what she's saying. So now everybody's now piling on Grace Randolph, saying that she's like a white supremacist or a racist.
Wow, that escalated.
Because she's on this.
Yeah. Huh? Anthony, have you watched this video?
I only saw the title.
Okay.
Oh.
So here, let me break down one thing. As much as I don't want to like Grace Randolph, because if you don't know that name,
who's Grace Randolph?
If you don't know that name, we talked about her 2 years ago.
She's like a movie reviewer.
Okay.
She does videos. She has a really annoying voice, but every once in a while she makes good points.
Anthony, this is how you remember her. She's the woman who wanted to petition for a PG version of Deadpool so that the 10-year-old kid can see it. Remember that?
Oh, God. All right.
That's Grace Randolph. So I immediately discredit any video. But
oh, God.
The title of this video, Kathleen Kennedy almost fired. Ruggs,
just break down for me. What was the snippet that
Ruggs, break down the video for us.
She said that she had an inside source that there was a conference call.
Secret meetings.
Like that involved not only Lucasfilm, but everybody that Disney owns to see who could replace Kathleen Kennedy.
Yes. Yep.
And people are like, that conversation never happened. How do you fucking know that? So she said she has a source that says that's what happened.
She doesn't name her source, of course. And then she said J.J. Abrams.
You're not going to name your source.
J.J. Abrams turned down the position, she says. And some other people turned down the position. She has a good point in that she's like, why not get Dave Filoni, who runs Star Wars Rebels, with Greg Wiseman? They did all that. They're really good. Wouldn't he, there's got to be a bunch of people who would jump at this, but it feels like they don't want to take over the shit show. I don't know. So what do you think, Rux? Is what she's saying true, or is she making shit up?
I don't know if that exact meeting happened in the way she said it, but I guarantee you that there's people second guessing Kennedy right now, the Bob Iger or somebody definitely is questioning it, because you've had multiple people, reviewers and whatever, start to question it, including us. Does Kathleen Kennedy know what she's doing? Like, all the movies that she works on, there's always some kind of problem. Yeah. So, and then, she has this kind of disconnect with the Star Wars fans. So if you're on the side of that, you want Star Wars to change and you want it to be this new progressive Star Wars that's all political, then you're on her side. But if you're not, then you're on another side. So it's like a weird divide. But I do believe that there's even the people who are losing money at Lucasfilm or the Star Wars portion of Disney, whatever they call it. I don't think they're very happy that they lost money on Solo. I don't think they're very happy that there's like negative karma going towards The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
I don't think they really want a divided fan base that hates each other. So I think that that's not a good thing. That's like what DC did.
Yep.
And DC's been taking a shit for the past year. So
and DC's got Walter Hamada, and he's trying to turn things around. And it sounds like I like some of what he's doing, where they're going. This year, though, I'm not surprised that people have turned it down, because think about it now. There's no way to make a Star Wars movie.
You can't turn this around right now. You have to wait a while.
You have to wait. But you can't make a Star Wars movie that appeals to all the Star Wars fans. Well, there's no way to do that. There's no way to do that. I don't think there'll ever be a way moving forward. Like, there's 2 tracks now. What do you do?
Well, that's the thing. If you can keep your fan base kind of like, okay, people who don't like the movie, people who like the movie,
yeah,
that's fine. But when you have people who vehemently would have liked that movie but now hate it and now are boycotting it, and you have like a whole segment of the old fan base, like the core fan base, the people that go and buy all the figures and go buy all the comics.
That was her point, was the people who buy toys are the old school guys, and they're...
Yeah, so you're going to alienate those people, or you're going to lose a fucking shitload of money.
I don't know who
seems to me...
I don't know who you make movies for.
That the old fans, a lot of the problem, besides some of the problems with the films that we've pointed out, but also with the fandom, is that a lot of the old fans have had all this time to kind of speculate how the story should play out after episode 6.
Yep.
And it's not playing out the way a lot of people wanted it to play out.
Yeah.
And they're very pissed off.
They feel like Kathleen Kennedy...
Because I don't know. We've had the 3 prequels, yes, but since the 70s, we've never had the continuation of that story, or the 80s, whenever that last...
Yeah.
What was it called? Return of the Jedi?
Yes, the original.
Whenever that came out. So you've had that amount of time for people to come up with their own stories. And then you got guys like Rian Johnson just turning everything on its head in the last one.
Well, you're discrediting the fact that they did continue the story, in comic books and books,
right,
and video games, and they threw all that stuff out.
He just shit all over that.
Yeah,
I am discrediting it because I never saw that shit.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that there were stories, there were like ideas about what had happened. There was canon that they decided to get rid of. So that's kind of like what Marvel's doing to a degree. They're throwing shit out the window, but it's different because it's at least the essence of it is there.
The essence of it is there, and Marvel's able to build it into something really good.
Is there an essence to something that doesn't have... Like, Marvel's had 60, what is it, 50, 55 years?
More than that, yeah. I mean,
comics.
Yeah.
I mean, the comics came first, whereas Star Wars, the comics came after.
Yeah.
This was a movie creation.
Star Wars is just Star Wars.
What is the essence?
I don't know. I mean, the same kind of backlash happened with the prequels. It's just the internet wasn't that prevalent back then.
Yeah, there's people who hate the prequels.
Same fans. It was the same shit when that shit came out.
Yeah.
The prequels seemed like they were pretty bad movies.
That's because like George Lucas if it was directed better.
Yeah.
If it was directed better and didn't have Jar Jar Binks, it would be a far better.
I mean, I also think he got lured by all the technology, and like, I could do all this green screen. I don't have to build a fucking set. I'm in. Yeah. Let's do it. And like, that's what happens. It's fucking fake flat.
It's just
movie.
that the actors that he hired,
bad
like the
casting,
main guy. It was too much. Like, they had the great Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
It's just crazy though. Like, the Force Awakens, I know there was some backlash to it being very safe, but for all intents and purposes was considered a very successful film.
I mean, it
made $900 million domestically and made
$2 billion.
Yeah,
I didn't hate that movie. I thought it was a decent movie.
Yeah, most people thought it was safe, but they liked it.
Yeah, I just thought there were some problems with it, but overall, I thought it was a good direction for them to go. I was like, oh, this is a really enjoyable movie.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a really well-made movie. It's just, we kind of...
So there is something there that when they hit it right, they hit it.
But really, is that also like the 20-year gap between movies?
Right. I also think that's J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
A lot of that, J.J. knows how to make something that will please.
He did it with Star Trek. He did it with Star Wars.
Yeah. He does seem like he's the type that just can please everybody.
He was really a fan making his fan film. His dream fan movie he got to make. And you can see there's nothing wrong with it.
May not make the best movie, but it'll be entertaining enough to like please most people. So
it's quite a mess. I don't know what's
going to... Rian Johnson, who's made Looper, I think, right? That was it. And not everybody was into that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, some people love that movie, but like, I mean, I don't think it's like, it didn't do like amazing at the box office or anything.
Well, one more comment for me is Star Wars. What's interesting for me about The Last Jedi is it got a lot of good reviews with the critics, but the fan score was so drastically different.
That was
than the
wild.
critic score. It was like the exact opposite of what the critics think. Yeah. And like prior to it coming out, the producers at Star Wars were so pleased with Rian Johnson that they were like, "You can do another trilogy."
They
gave him the keys to keep this going.
They were hands off. They didn't interfere. They kind of let him do whatever he wanted.
I mean, he's still got stuff that he can work on for Star Wars.
He's got there's going to be a Rian Johnson trilogy. Yeah. Now, the other problem, huge mistake, I think, is they should have just made the Obi-Wan movie fucking first. Like everybody wanted to see that. Why would you not just make that first? And Rogue One, you may have been.
Rogue One ended up being pretty successful.
No, Rogue One was great. Solo was. You should have made the Obi-Wan.
That's a big fuck up right there.
These last two that have really pissed people
off. We got a new trailer for the Predator, Shane Black's Predator at Christmas, buddy cop movie. But this one's a red band trailer, which means it has swearing,
and
violence. And Anthony, what did you think after this trailer? There's a little more story. You see a giant-ass hybrid predator. Doesn't look any better than the first trailer, which we all agreed kind of looked like a shitty B movie-ish.
As a Predator fan,
yeah,
it still looks like it fucking belongs straight to DVD.
Like shit,
the plot, at least this trailer's cut a little better, where it's not a kid. Like the main conflict doesn't start off because of a kid flying the Predator thing.
Right.
It does look better in that sense. It's cut a little better, but it still looks straight to DVD, and I'm still not really understanding why they're going the route of the Predator versus the Super Predator.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you guys saw Predators with Adrian Brody, but that was basically the storyline in that one, was that there were two races of Predators that were fighting each other. So they're going, I mean, I guess this Predator's evolved, but they're doing basically the same thing, where they're creating another Predator that is bigger than the last Predator.
You mean there's a movie coming out that's exactly the same movie that we saw before?
Oh, there's a lot of movies.
That never happened.
We'll be talking about another movie that's exactly
it
another
just doesn't
movie.
Look, I mean, at the end of the day, I think Predator was probably best as a one-off movie.
Absolutely. Rugs, not even a question.
Rugs, what do you think? Can even Sterling K. Brown's weight of his gravitas save this movie, or no?
Thomas Jane's in it, right?
This one?
Yeah, he is in it, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Jake Busey's in it as the son of Gary Busey from the second Predator movie.
Yeah, all of that's canon. Go ahead, Ruggs.
What do you think, Ruggs?
Well, what was the question?
Can even
if
Sterling...
one actor can save this movie?
No,
Imran. Sorry.
What about Olivia Munn? She's a scientist, though.
No.
She was awful in X-Men Apocalypse.
They didn't give her a lot to do,
yeah.
except walk around and stand there.
She's not the greatest in a lot of movies, but like I liked her in that Holiday Party movie.
Have not seen it.
Holiday Office Party.
That's a big-ass Predator.
Here's another problem with this trailer. They're going in the woods and stuff.
Yeah.
And it just reminds me, have you guys seen AVP, Requiem?
Yeah.
Most of that movie occurs in the Colorado woods. So now it's reminding me of that too. And it's just like, oh, fuck.
Those movies are so forgettable that I can't remember even watching any of them. And I've seen them all.
I was geeked. I was geeked about those movies.
Sorry. I'm just not buying a lot of things I see in this trailer. Like, is anybody buying Keegan-Michael Key as like a badass ex-con mercenary dude? No. The guy like putting the cigarette out on his tongue to look all tough. It all just seems forced and silly, and I don't know. I'll still go see this movie, but
I don't know. I mean, like
I'm going to see it.
You see, listen, it's a step down from Jesse the Body Ventura and Carl Weathers, you know? It's like those guys are fucking juiced up, fucking...
Well, it's a different era, you know? We went to...
They fucking sweat testosterone.
Yeah. That was the thing, is that movie came... I was reading about why that movie was successful. First off, John McTiernan's great.
He is a really good director, yes.
You had the machoist men in this movie, and it was like 80s cheese for like the first half, and then you had something hunting them. Like it was, and then it came out in the 80s, so it was perfect timing where all these, the 80s were all about machoism and overly sized muscles, and now you have someone that just has all these fucking guys scared shitless,
putting them in his place.
Right.
Yeah.
But that doesn't. The only way that I think we might have even said this already on the show, but the only way this would work is if you just go full camp and you have bring back all the 80s people again, or you bring back you just have Vin Diesel and The Rock in this and just recreate the Predator again. That's the only way that this will work.
You got to cheese it
you
back
need
up.
the fucking biggest badasses that you have in every genre. You need a UFC fighter.
Yeah.
You need the fucking biggest dude the guy from Game of Thrones who plays the Mountain.
Oh yeah, get him.
You need all those fucks. And then you fucking have something kick their ass and you're like, holy shit. Regular dudes, getting your ass kicked. Yeah, you see that all the time.
I think that I agree. That's the main thing. Is nobody cares about a team and nobody's fucking fighting their predator. That's not fun.
You don't want people to feel bad about themselves.
Yeah.
Why am I not that big?
Just get Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
And put him in there. So it did not make the movie look any better. I will agree.
Give credit though, I'll give credit to the original design of the Predator is still one of the most badass.
It's pretty sick.
features.
I like the helmet, and he's got the dreads, and
The vagina mouth.
The vagina mouth looks good, and then
I love that he wears a netted shirt.
Yeah,
the
he does.
fishnet stockings as a shirt.
He's going to a club.
That's always good. That's always money right there.
Going to the club in the West Village.
All right, let's wrap up the news with a little Luke Cage season 2 watch update. Shut up, dogs. Okay. They freaked out.
He listened to you.
My wife's yelling at him now, too. The whole Luke Cage season 2 is out, and wow, it's crazy. Where's everyone at? Rugs?
I don't know. I think I'm on episode 8.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Very good. I've seen 11.
Holy.
Anthony?
Oof. I'm at 2.
Oh.
Okay.
I've seen 2.
Wow.
But we have,
We
for
got
the
time.
listener, we won't be reviewing this until probably 2 weeks from now. So.
Yeah, we'll review when everyone catches up, and it'll be probably 2 weeks from now.
I'm 2 in.
Okay.
I'll just start because I'm 2 in.
Yeah.
I am not exactly hooked yet.
Okay.
You want to know something? I was feeling that way too, but then after I got into it a little bit, I feel like it works as a drama.
Yes.
Melodrama. It's almost like a soap opera.
A little bit. Yeah.
As a superhero show, I don't know. You gotta wait and see the rest of it before I make any comments. But there's definitely a something going on
there. Look, this. You're right, Anthony. Though there's not a hook moment. It's a slow burn, and it's the pace I'm watching it. I don't even want to binge this. I'm watching 2 or 3 episodes a day, but I really love this season because it builds on Luke Cage, the first season, Iron Fist, and Defenders. The fucking music and the musical performances is so good. And Ruggs, what you said, it reminds me of a 70s blaxploitation TV show because they've added the score underneath these conversations to give it that weird 70s soap opera. A little bit of that. But I love it. I fucking love it. And fucking Bushmaster, Mustafa Shakir is really good as Bushmaster.
I'll say this, that the characterization is great. The story that's being woven that you get to kind of in the middle.
Yes.
There's a lot of meat to it.
Yeah.
And you can get a lot out of it. But is it a superhero show? It's not.
It's a sick,
it's a gangster show.
It's a gangster crime noir drama.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. This is the genre of Luke Cage. But they wisely, our biggest criticism the first season was, it was 2 halves. The first half was awesome, and the back half, what the fuck happened? This one is one story, really well interwoven all the way along. Every character has an arc. The side characters, the smaller characters, it's a really well thought out.
But this isn't really Luke Cage's show.
No, it's an ensemble cast.
It's really not, he's not the central character that everything's hanging on.
Right.
It's really other people that are actually carrying the show.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me say this about Luke Cage. I actually don't find him to be all that interesting.
Right.
So,
which is why it kind of works.
I don't know. I'm only 2 episodes in.
You know, want to know something that I feel like that this actually makes him look a lot weaker.
Okay.
Because as carrying the show, I'm saying.
Okay.
Because you feel like there's so many other people that are killing it.
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden he's just looks okay by comparison.
It gets a little overshadowed with some of these performances.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
The other people are carrying the show.
But that's how good this cast is, and these people are. Like Misty Knight, fucking Bushman. Oh,
that's not going to do a full review.
No, I know.
No. But I'm just saying that there's. It's a weird. I'm very, very torn on the show. I have to finish it before I make my final conclusion, but I'm very torn on it. I do like. I'm interested to see what happens.
Me too.
I'm like hooked into I'm into the meat of the story now, so I'm like I'm gonna finish it. There's no I'm not like ho hum about finishing it. I'm very perplexed at why they chose to go this route and whether it's the way the show should be.
I mean, it reminds me of a 13-issue comic book run. You really get to spend a lot of time with these characters. It breathes. I think it works really well. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
And a great bad guy, too.
And yes, very good bad guy. It's really good, man. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I'm going to get the fucking soundtrack. It's amazing. All right. Let's take a break and we will talk about some crazy-ass fucking dinosaurs wrecking some shit right after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey, this is Chris from the Hashtag No Offense Show. What we are is a weekly podcast of three friends sharing a few drinks and a few laughs while poking fun at the world. Topics ranging from music and movies, to kids and marriage, to current events and social commentary, all while giving a unique perspective. Check out this clip from a recent episode. How is a bitch named Crystal Methvin arrested for crystal meth?
My first thought was, is that her real name or did she change it? I mean, I know it's her real name now.
Like she just embraced the habit?
But was she so into crystal meth that she changed her name? Or did her parents just say, you know what, we want this kid to be messed up? At some point, you got to make a decision to change your life, right?
Or change your name at the very least.
Well, that might be the first step in getting herself going in the right direction.
This is like a self-fulfilling prophecy, you know? Like if you name your daughter a stripper name, she's destined to end up on the fucking pole, you know? If you name your daughter fucking Destiny or fucking, you know...
Oh, Destiny's out there.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of strip clubs out there, too. So if you like what you heard, crack a beer with us and embrace the nonsense. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, and look for us on social media at HTNOS everywhere.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll get you back to your podcasty goodness now in a minute.
First, we'd like to take a second to tell you about our marginally better podcast, the 365 Flicks podcast.
I am the Scottish Whedon whore, Chris.
And I am the Pissy X video store clerk, Kev.
And we bring you the latest movie and TV news, reviews, and rants.
All that and a bunch of top fives that you really will not care about.
Subscribe to us on iTunes, Libsyn, and all other third-party podcasting apps.
And on top of all that, you'll get free access to our indie talk. You'll hear us speaking with directors, producers, actors, comic book creators, and artists about their experiences.
Don't forget to drop us 5 stars and follow us on the Facebooks and the Twitters.
Told him not to go in the water.
And
Listener, if you have been enjoying the show, if listening to this show every week makes you do this, you definitely want to join our fan club on Patreon because there is bonus content. You're going to get a lot more stuff, perks. Go to jockandnerd.com/Patreon. Post shows, instant reactions.
Extra shows.
Extra episodes. There is bonus content. We always record something after the show. Instant reactions to movies. And episode 3 of Jock Talk.
Bro, do you even podcast?
Anthony. What's going on in episode 3 of Jock Talk with Anthony and Chaz?
Chaz Heppard. Me and him are talking NFL and NBA draft. And we're talking about where LeBron James is going.
You know what?
Did I just cue you up there?
Yeah, yes, you did. I listened to that. And the big story in the jock world is where's LeBron going? I know where he's going. He's going to space, people.
Oh, shit. Space Force?
Not Space Force, but apparently...
He's going to space.
LeBron James is going to be in the sequel to Space Jam. Jam 2.
That's been rumored for so long.
Right. So the rumor is that the Space Jam 2 trailer will launch after his free agency announcement. Oh, shit. Making a whole crazy media fucking circus out of this. That seems kind of smart, I guess.
Do people even know who Bugs Bunny is anymore?
I don't think so. I don't think people know who Space Jam is.
This would seem to be a bad idea.
Do we even know who Michael Jordan is anymore?
Nope.
Oh, we don't. Well, I know who he is.
Why is it a bad idea, Anthony?
I don't want to get too sporty on here, but
don't get too jockey.
The LeBron James has been quoted as saying that he wasn't going to make a big deal out of his decision, which 8 years ago, he made a big deal out of it, and it really backfired public or PR wise for him.
Yeah.
So to make a decision and then throw the trailer on right after you make your decision, unless he makes a decision that pleases everybody, that's not a good idea.
So because you don't know how people are going to feel after the decision, and he's like, and now here's my new movie.
Right. It just seems too contrived.
I tell you, the people making Space Jam probably love it. They're like, fuck, we're going to get in front of a lot of eyeballs. But I don't know. Space Jam 2 with LeBron. Wow. All right.
I loved Space Jam, by the way.
I know. That's your age. People your age, that was like in their sweet spot of growing up.
I Believe I Can Fly.
The album is one of the best things ever.
See, my Space Jam was Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It was like the same thing.
Okay.
Animated, live. But
my Space Jam was R. Kelly peeing on.
Oh, boy. That's it.
He didn't do that. He did that on Earth.
Yeah. Oh, he didn't do that in space?
Yeah.
Oh, because it's hard.
He just used regular KY jelly for that,
when you
actually.
pee,
it wasn't jam.
Plus, when you pee in space, it just floats up and goes away.
Yeah, he likes it. He can watch it longer.
Yeah, you can't really aim it.
It lasts
just
longer.
kind of just floats.
You think the stars are just pea flakes from R. Kelly?
That's what all that is.
It's just reflecting the sun.
It's just dehydrated urine.
Let me piss in space, motherfuckers. Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
Let's get to, we got a movie review. Yeah, Jurassic World.
Who's that guy that you had us review the show, that reviewed our show that was only for us? 7 minutes.
It's Dave Jackson. Actually,
Dave Jackson, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry. It took us about an hour to get to the main topic. I hope you don't fucking hate us.
That's going to be in an actual podcast feed. He has a show called the Podcast Rodeo Show.
Send him the clip of just send him the show and be like, we took your advice. We waited an hour next time to go into the main topic.
I wanted to hear. That's why I mentioned check the show notes for the time code, you fuckers.
No, I know. I'm not mad at you. I just think it's funny.
It is pretty funny. Shout out to Dave Jackson. All right.
Shout out to Dave Jackson.
There's your spoiler alert.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
For Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, although even if the movie is spoiled before you see it, it really doesn't matter.
No.
Really, it has no...
If you've seen any of them before, you know what happened.
If you've seen anything about dinosaurs at all, you know what happens. This is the movie that continues Colin Trevorrow's story. It's written by Trevorrow, Derek Connolly, but not directed by him. Directed by J.A. Bayona in this time. And you got Chris Pratt returning, Bryce Dallas Howard.
What did J.A. Bayona direct?
He also directed... Hold on, I will tell you. Hold, please. He is known for The Orphanage in 2007. He directed The Impossible in 2012. That's the movie about the tsunami.
Yeah, I saw it. That was
Tom
good.
Holland is in that one. That's a good movie. And A Monster Calls, the most recent.
That was also a good movie.
Okay, so the Bayona, not too bad. Let's look at some of the other numbers being
interesting.
The Rotten Tomato score for this movie fell from last week. It's at 51% now. It's 5.7 out of 10 remains. The tomato meter went down to 51%. And finally, the numbers. This movie was made for $170 million. It pulls in a very respectable $148 million opening weekend. I think it was 150 and they changed the number.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
150 opening weekend. But get this, in 6 days worldwide, it's at $797 million.
Oh, shit.
Almost $800 million worldwide.
So that's fucking good.
I mean, I
didn't know that.
They figured
Holy
out,
shit.
they continued the trend of making big, dumb movies that play great overseas like the last one. And they just kind of fine-tuned that formula there to make it bigger and dumber. And with that, let's get into our opening thoughts. Ruggs, you saw this the most recently.
Yeah, I just saw it.
So give us your opening thoughts walking out of this movie. What's going through your head?
I went in with look, that last movie that we saw with her running into heels
yes.
in front of a T-Rex
Yes.
and no problem.
Yes.
I'm like, this movie is the dumbest movie that I've ever seen. And then I saw this movie. And actually, I thought this movie was better than the one before it.
Okay.
Now, is it as much of a visual thing as the last movie? The last movie seemed like it had more crazy shit going on. But I feel like this movie was directed better. That's why this J.A. Bayona, the cinematography, I think the script was really weak.
Yeah.
The script is what killed this movie.
There was a script?
The way that they were like, and not only that, but they were like using too many callbacks to the other movies where they were like doing the exact same scene.
Yep.
So I wasn't really expecting much. Yeah. So I was entertained, but I did groan and roll my eyes quite a few times when I saw things. Yeah. I'm like, why are they doing this pose again with the T-Rex? Yeah. You know, like there was things. So like, did I hate this movie? No, because I already saw the movie before it that was so shitty. I knew like, okay, I had a low bar. I was like, okay, it's not going to be any, I'm going to sit there. I'm going to moan and groan about how shitty the writing is, how lazy it is. And I was not disappointed. It was shitty writing and lazy writing all the way through. Yep. But I did like it a little bit better as far as cinematography and like the horror aspect of it and everything.
Interesting.
I think that was done well. But other than that, you know, there was no running in heels.
Yeah, they fixed some things.
You know, they had. Yeah. So I mean, it was a mixed bag.
Yeah. Anthony, what are your opening thoughts?
So I was in the bag for this movie. I was like, they're doing Fast and Furious with dinosaurs. I'm in. And then I watched this movie and I was like, damn, that was fucking worse than Jurassic World.
Oh, no.
Whoa.
I did not. I wouldn't say I didn't. I wouldn't go as far as I say I didn't like this movie. This movie is good in small parts. Like there's some good moments there. I'll agree the cinematography is really good in a lot of parts. I'll give them credit for going. They kind of figured out, because the formula for the first Jurassic World was wonder and then horror, and then suspense and terror. Yeah. So this one they went disaster movie and then haunted house.
Yeah.
So kind of weird, but like I was like, all right, I'll give them credit for going with that. But overall, the movie is so fucking contrived. I mean, this fucking old man that's apparently John Hammond's friend. What
and
the
no
fuck?
one ever mentioned
when did he ever mention like, why does he carry around a fucking cane just like John Hammond?
There's another one?
Yeah, like so many things.
Yeah.
And the laziest writing that we've ever seen.
It's so bad, the writing. And there are things that they want to touch upon, but they like scratch it surface level, and I will get into that later. Yeah. But the writing is so fucking bad, and the characters in this are so bad. Like Chris Pratt isn't even like Chris Pratt in this. He's less than Chris Pratt. And then the big thing is they kept advertising the new dinosaur, which is kind of a copy of the last movie. Yeah. But the new dinosaur is like revealed in the third act and is not even like around, and there's not even an epic dinosaur fight. This movie was terrible. This movie was so bad. I got so many things to say, but I'm going to let Imran go.
So I'm more leaning towards Ruggs, what Ruggs feels about the movie. Like we talked about last week. I knew I got to turn off my brain. I know it's going to be a big, dumb writing. This movie sets the precedent for these big, dumb movies making lots of money. And going in with that, I kind of I enjoyed the action. I thought the action was a lot better. The direction was better than the first one. Lots of eye roll grown movie moments, but it was like entertainingly bad to watch with an audience as we all laughed at the stupid shit. And they did something we anticipated they were going to do. And you said it in your instant reaction, Anthony. They fast and furious this thing. So I kind of appreciated that, because really, if you take out all the fucking story and the talky parts and you just had all that dinosaur action scenes, that would have been a great movie. I wouldn't have needed anything more. So I don't know. I liked it a little bit better than the first one because it was so fucking balls crazy. Like, what the fuck? Like, it was Gotham crazy. Like, what the fuck is going on?
It was bad on that level.
You know? So I could kind of I could appreciate that, knowing that's what it is. I'm like, you guys are having fun. This is fucking nuts, but entertaining, and then ultimately kind of forgettable. Let's talk about what else did we like. Let's talk about what worked.
I'll talk. I'll start because I don't have a lot.
Okay. Yeah, there's not much. I don't have a lot.
There is some like Rugboy said. There is some very good cinematography. Bayona knows how to really shoot different things, like the dinosaur shadows and the haunted house. And then for me, the shot of the Brachiosaurus.
Yeah.
Similar to the first film where you see the Brachiosaurus for the first time, but this time it's getting covered up slowly in the volcanic ash. Mm-hmm. That was the only part where I was like, "Whoa, I'm actually feeling some real emotion."
I think there was some tears, man.
That's kind of deep.
Fucking kids.
There were some moments where you were like, "Oh shit, that this is kind of like a real thing," and that was a really interesting shot because it's the same exact shot of the Brachiosaur in the first movie
Right.
where it rises up to eat something.
Right.
But then it's rising up to like do its death rattle.
There was like kids crying. People were they were sniffling. They got him. It got him in the fields because Brachiosaur always invites everyone into the park. Like it's the first thing you saw.
Right.
And then that was pretty emotional. Like they had a few moments. The opening thing with the Mosasaur, the big fucking fish dinosaur, that thing is fucking badass. I kind of like the Mosasaur.
Mosasaur.
But like, why did he?
Actually, technically not a dinosaur.
It's not. Oh, it's what is it?
I think it's a giant reptile, which isn't a dinosaur nowadays. Isn't dinosaurs aren't considered reptiles anymore?
I don't know.
They're birds.
They're birds. Yeah.
According to John Hammond.
Yeah, Mosasaur isn't.
They're birds, but the action choreography. Let me start.
Choreography.
The action choreography, the set pieces, the way it moved around the things. I thought the whole first half volcano island scenes were like that was very exciting. I thought it was really well done. Aside of a couple of eye-rolling and scientifically impossible moments, like they should have all melted. They were so close to the fucking lava. You're not fucking...
they would have been
You are not surviving
vaporized.
that. Yes.
Yeah.
There's no way you're surviving that.
They would have exploded from being
Even in the water. Once the lava hit the water, it tends to boil water. It would have just boiled them alive.
It's so dumb.
There's a lot of dumb things.
Beyond dumb.
But it looked fucking
dumb.
crazy. Like, you could follow the action. You know, it was clean. It was clear. You know, even with the dinosaur... And the battles in the mansion, the whole haunted house thing, you could see, you knew what was going on. You could follow it easily.
Like, it just, like, getting the characters there and the main characters' motivations were a lot clearer.
Yeah.
And made more sense than the previous movie, where, like, you had this, like, what's her character? Claire. In the first movie, she has this whole character arc where she goes from being a biatch who only cares about business in the park to like having to care about her nephews or whatever.
Yeah.
And being like, you know, a shitty person and then that ending up as a hero. Like that was so forced and so like lame. I'm glad that this one was like the trajectory of her character was like, okay, I'm going to go back and I'm responsible for this park. I'm responsible for these animals. I'm going to try and save them. And it was very easy to get, I don't know the name of the other character.
Owen. That's the problem.
Owen.
Nobody knows. It's Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the character.
It doesn't matter.
Owen,
They're bland characters.
They use Blue to get him over there, and that makes sense too, to a certain degree. That you know he was raised this dinosaur and had a connection with it, so it would make sense that he would maybe want to go back to try and get into this girl's pants and to get his dinosaur.
I did enjoy the little video moments of him training Blue, and Blue was small. Like that was kind of nice.
It was like see, there was an emotional impact that the other one didn't have, where you're like, okay, these things are animals. Should we let them die? There's questions about, you know, even if we create these things, are they still sentient beings and do they deserve to live? But then they shoehorned this one character that I don't. Basically, they introduced this character.
Which one?
Which is the little girl.
Maisie.
Who's a clone.
Yes.
Oh. And that's the reason why she saves the dinosaurs at the end of the movie, and she lets them go out into the world because they're like her.
That's the dumbest thing. They're not like her.
That is so dumb.
They're fucking dinosaurs that eat people.
Yeah.
They're not like you at all, Maisie.
All right. I got to jump in.
We
now.
just have to go with this.
When
it's
they
crazy
reveal that she is a fucking clone,
yes.
I rolled my eyes so hard.
Yeah.
I think I died momentarily.
Yep.
First off, this whole like. This is what I mean when I say they touch upon things, but they don't really do anything with it. They touch upon it like our clone sentient beings, blah, blah, blah. And then they just randomly throw in that this child is a clone. This fucking kid is a clone.
Yeah.
I knew from the very first scene that she was a clone.
Oh, really?
But then they throw this in, and like Chris Pratt's character and Bryce Dallas Howard are just like, okay.
They dropped a lot of cues for that.
It's just like it's so haphazardly thrown in, and it's only thrown in so that she's the one that pushes the button. There's no deeper meaning to this.
Yeah.
There's nothing more than just like, oh, she's got to be the one to push the button. Why would she push the button? She's a clone.
Because you don't want your two main characters to be responsible for this.
It's like they work backwards.
It's the laziest of fucking things.
She's totally a plot point. But the thing is, okay, so they were dropping all of these hints that she was a clone.
Oh, really?
Like early on, right? And I was like, okay, when he's looking at the book, as soon as I saw the grandfather with the book, and it wouldn't let her look at it, I was like, she's a clone.
Oh, okay.
All right, and then But I was like, this can't be it, though. There's got to be more to it.
Nope.
And then they had this tracking shot of her eye. Like, I thought that something was going to happen with her eye. Maybe you're going to see into her eye and see there was, like, maybe flecks of color that shouldn't be in there. Yeah. Or she's not quite human. I was, like, waiting for that turn. So, while people were bowled over that she was a clone, I wasn't. Yeah. I thought there was going to be more to the story to make it even more crazy.
You saw that coming.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I was so bowled over that she was a clone, and they just threw that line in there and ran away from it right away. Like, they just kept going with the movie.
Right.
And it's like, wait a minute. Should be an important thing, and it's not.
Well, you want to know something that really pissed me off? And it was like right from the get-go. I was like, dude, they clone these things anyway. We don't need to save them. They're all in a fucking petri dish somewhere. This is all a pointless movie.
Why does Claire want to save the dinosaur? Why does anybody want to save them?
It's not that Claire...
Make more.
Well, yeah, that's true. Claire, yes, even Claire should have a better idea, but the fact that they're sending mercs to this place, and it's like, you clearly just showed Dr. Wu has been working in the secret lab in the haunted house on dinosaur genomes. He has eggs. He has fucking DNA.
Yes.
They made dinosaurs in the first film. Like, it's clearly been established in this world, you can make dinosaurs out of basically nothing. So why are they sending mercs to save these dinosaurs, like as if they're the last of their species, when they can clearly create more in the lab?
And like, what, the movie doesn't know what it wants. Like, are dinosaurs monsters or are they endangered species that need saving? Like, which is it? We've all
see that
they're monsters.
A better movie would have been, you open with the volcano exploding. You open with the Jeff Goldblum saying, like, this is what needs to happen. Let God correct.
Let him die. Yeah.
And then you cut to them doing and making more dinosaurs to be sold to the military. And they've been doing it under this fucking mansion all this time.
It's just
it's just so fucking contrived because you have these characters that weren't all that interesting in the first film. So you bring them back. You have them go to the island because they have to go to the island to save these dinosaurs because there's a volcano. They need to save the dinosaurs because they're fucking extinct. You have a fucking there's so many contrivances that are written to get them back on the fucking island.
Yeah, it's
just like, what are we talking about?
Lazy fucking writing.
It's horrible. Another dumb reason to go to the island with mercenaries.
And I gotta say, for all the fucking advertising of Jeff Goldblum, oh my God, how much did he get paid for that? That was a fucking joke.
And what was he even saying? Like, we're stupid and we're going to get eaten anyways, no matter what you do.
Basically like it's becoming a Jurassic World.
Yeah, well, that leads to the end. But
that was a cringy line, too.
Everyone in this movie is just a fucking idiot. Like, people, every decision is just dumb.
The human characters are written so poorly.
This is just
bad. The bad guy is so hilariously bad.
Yeah.
Like, he's over the top. Like, at no point am I like, man, this guy is such a bad person that he's going to kill a man. And he fucking kills a guy. And I'm like, what? Like, what? He's that evil of a person?
Yeah, dude,
and then they're selling these fucking
well, yeah.
I got so much on my
I know.
They're selling these fucking dinosaurs at the auction.
Let's talk about the auction.
And they're selling these dinosaurs for like, okay, let's say these like are the last of the dinosaurs according to these buyers.
Yeah.
Like, that's what the buyers think.
Yeah.
You would get more than $5 million.
Yeah, $10 million is not a lot of money.
You would get like billions for these dinosaurs.
This is a dinosaur, genetically...
A movie about dinosaurs costs more than an actual dinosaur.
Right.
$10 million? That's what you're fucking asking for this shit? And there's a runway, like it's a fashion show, and there's a guy pushing a giant lever comedically. Like, it turned into like a comic book, like a fucking Batman 66. This is the plot to a Batman show from 1966.
Yeah, it's bad.
They just needed to tilt the camera to get the Dutch angle.
Here's why I know you guys both think this was better than Jurassic World, which is fine. The reason I thought Jurassic World was better was, number one, the dinosaur fight at the end is much better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Number two, there is they kind of get away from it right away, but there is the underlying theme of people get tired of the same old shit and that we need to like make everything bigger and badder. So like we've had a Jurassic Park for 10 years. People are tired of the old T-Rex. We got to create something new. Let's make this Indominus Rex. And that's what the downfall is, that we just get tired, like humans get tired of the same shit over and over and want something bigger and better, and everything becomes corporatized. That's what they were kind of hinting at Jurassic World. There's nothing in Fallen Kingdom remotely close to even that.
And
there's nothing that this movie is saying.
No, but see, it should have said
for
less.
Me, the most interesting part of this movie is the fact that the third movie is going to be interesting.
It was a setup to get to like a literal Jurassic World.
Where is it going to go? Like the people
Planet of the Apes.
So it's like dinosaurs.
Planet of the Dinos.
Yeah, but there's
only like a dozen of them that got loose.
I know that doesn't make fucking sense.
Do anything.
Yeah, they can't mate.
That's where they're going.
Do you know? I didn't even wait for that stupid post-credit scene. I just I don't even care if there was one. I'm leaving. And it was.
What was it? It was just like flying.
Pterodactyl flying over Las
Vegas. Yeah.
Which it could have been in the movie at the end where
That's another thing too is that I know they're going to plan into the dinos.
Yeah.
Jurassic World.
Yeah.
But it's like, wait, there are only like 12 escaped. You could easily kill these motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's not that many of them.
And it's been clearly established that a fucking hacker can hack into their tracking monitors too.
Yeah.
So you can track these sons of bitches if you really wanted to.
Yeah. You could kill him with a rifle. That's all you need.
That little girl needs to be arrested and tried for crimes against humanity.
In Trump's America, where everybody's got a gun,
she led over. Yeah, it's done in 2 seconds.
The only defense to that is that they did sell some of those to actual like evil buyers, so maybe the evil buyers can do some shit.
No,
with them.
they're gonna get eaten
but you
right
can
away.
Still track these things.
Evil buyers can't control dinosaurs. Hasn't anybody learned anything from these movies? You're going to get eaten. So they take.
I don't understand the whole auction thing at all. But what are they gonna do with these things?
I don't know. Whatever you want.
It's like they're like you can. This is a virtual tank. I'm like, so you have one and then it dies. And
what do you do with it?
There was like 3 things. He's like, you could big game hunt them. You could militarize them. You could clone them.
Yeah. What are you gonna?
You could do whatever you want with these dinosaurs.
You can ride them. You can give them to your daughter as a pet. I don't know. What are you gonna do with these fucking dinosaurs? That one's laser guided. So they do the same thing where they took the Indominus Rex and try to make him bigger. What did you guys think of the design of that fucking thing?
They made him smaller. They made him into a raptor.
Indoraptor. What's it called?
The Indoraptor.
Wait, did somebody say Indoraptor?
Indoraptor, yeah.
Wait, you mean this?
All of my songs are influenced by my, the places I grew up.
That's the scariest part of the movie, was when this Indoraptor showed up.
What part of the movie did that come from?
That was Dr. Wu was hanging out with this guy, Dinesh. And
the Indoraptor.
Indoraptor. I'm the Indoraptor. Hasn't Dr. Wu learned? Why the fuck would BD Wong help these people do anything? Did he get eaten? I hope he got eaten.
No, he ran away
again, like in the last movie.
They could have started at such a better place in this movie, made such a different movie. But I think it's exactly what Tony was saying, is that they're trying to build to this third movie, and I guess they're gonna have the dinosaurs free in the world. But I also think that BD Wong is going to be making some other concoctions.
So like maybe he makes a dinosaur to go hunt these dinosaurs down.
Yeah,
some
like
shit.
a super predator.
Look, I like that it's like Fast and Furious. They just pretty much like fuck everything. And clearly the global market loves this shit.
Here's the thing that the reason why Fast and Furious, in my opinion, kind of succeeds over Jurassic World.
Yeah,
is Fast and Furious has characters that you actually like, kind of like.
Okay,
you like Vin Diesel's character, you like The Rock, you like a bunch of these guys. Jurassic World, like Chris Pratt, like I mentioned earlier, is written to be less than Chris Pratt. He's not even like funny in this.
Yeah.
Bryce Dallas Howard is
she's just like, Bryce Dallas Howard.
She's just she's just a plot device. Yeah. And then there's no human character you can really latch on. Jeff Goldblum's in this for 20 seconds. The other characters that you want to latch on are the dinosaurs.
Yep.
So they're trying to make the dinosaurs characters you can latch onto, and that can only go so far. And they don't even have any cool scenes with the dinosaurs like the last one.
The dinos should have ate way more people.
Well, I did like the fact that they were using practical effects a lot, and that they were actually interacting with that dinosaur when they were taking the blood from the T-Rex.
Oh yeah,
that was good.
Yeah,
that was cool. Like I was like, oh, that's pretty badass.
Oh, and then the T-Rex just like shows up out of nowhere at the very end, just because he's like, I'm T-Rex. I gotta be in this movie somewhere.
I gotta get out of this place. And no one freed me.
Yeah. That last battle scene where the Blue fights the
they kept cutting away from it,
and then it crashes through and it dies on the spot. Like that was all right. It wasn't like a great big final fucking.
No,
battle.
It wasn't a cool fight at all. Oh. But I did like the Indoraptor. Indoraptor.
Wait, you mean this guy?
All of my songs are.
I got it.
Why do you always put on the voiceover?
Hold on, I got a cue.
Go to the part without the voiceover.
You mean this guy?
All of my.
Yeah, I really liked him.
Leave in your fucking errors.
It's all staying in. Wait, this guy?
Oh yeah!
He dropped.
That was the hot part right there.
Now I want to know how.
Oh, stupid
including
voiceover.
50 Cent song.
Oh, he's cutting a video. Never mind.
No. You should find just a song with of him without him talking.
His name is Divine. Mumbai rapper Divine. Okay, hold on.
All right. Anyway, the Indoraptor was cool, but because I liked the way that he opened the door and he like was creeping over her bed with the hands. That's cool. I like when they introduce you to new dinosaurs. So we had like some that like the bumpy head guy that like broke the walls. He came back and forth.
Yeah, that was kind of a fun scene too.
I think he was in the Lost World, but yeah, he's
all right. But they introduced you to that guy. Then they had this like thing that was kind of like a Spinosaurus without the spine.
Yeah, that was a Baryonyx.
Oh,
yes,
whoa.
Barry White.
Barry White.
It's Barry White and Onyx together.
Barry Bionics.
Yeah, that was pretty scary. They had the Allosaurus with the horns, I think, right?
They had an Allosaurus. They also had, I think that's called a Carnotaurus.
A Carnotaurus.
Yeah, whatever.
Carnitas.
That's the one with the horns, that gets eaten by the T-Rex.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but they didn't really do much with those guys.
No.
I like when they introduce you to dinosaurs and you kind of learn a little bit about them. Like I didn't know shit about Spinosaurus until I saw it in Jurassic Park 3. And I was like, holy shit, that thing's bigger than a T-Rex. And it looks like a duck.
But just listen, think about how contrived the pacing of the movie. Like, this guy planned to sell these dinosaurs at an auction the same day they show up to his house, and Lockwood just decides to go get them when the volcano is blowing up. Like, he had all this time to do this, but they wait until there's an active volcano exploding to do, and everything all happens in like a day.
If he's planning this out correctly, like I can understand needing Chris Pratt to go over there.
Right.
And I can understand needing Bryce Dallas Howard to go over there. But why do you need Bryce Dallas Howard's fucking nurse to come? And why do you need her fucking hacker buddy who's playing Shaggy from Scooby-Doo in the fucking movie? Like, if you really plan this out, wouldn't you have your own hacker and your own fucking nurse?
I like seeing the kid from the Get Out. That kid was in the Get Out. He was like the main guy in the.
He's doing a fucking Shaggy impression.
He was. Oh, dinos! Oh, Scoob! There's dinos! Yikes!
What is this?
That guy's great.
There's just so much shit being thrown against the wall in this one.
How the fuck is that giant underground layer under that house? Where is all that? You just have fucking cages for dinosaurs all set up?
That was actually filmed in, I think, England.
Oh.
I read that they were originally going to actually set it in England, and they were like, wait a minute.
How are they going to get there?
Why would the ship need to go all the way to England?
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, California.
Yeah.
So next year at EDM, there's going to be dinosaurs everywhere.
What about the whole Indoraptor getting freed?
Wait, this guy? I'm getting better at that.
See, I would like to see him more free.
Getting better at that.
Like, remember when, like, Buffalo Bill with his balls untucked went in there to get the tooth?
Yeah.
Like, first of all, why would you go in there into a cage?
Yes. He leaves the door open, and
what a douche.
Everybody's dumb. Everyone is so dumb in this movie.
Oh, my God. I'm like, okay, they don't even give a fuck at this
point. There's, like,
They're
guards guarding the dinosaurs underground, so they just break out.
And there's also, like, the fact that these people fucking got onto the ship by like driving off the ramp.
Nobody noticed
and
that?
like crash landing in there, and nobody notices these people.
New people.
Like all she does is put on a fucking hat.
Yeah.
And you're telling me no one's gonna notice that Bryce Dallas Howard just got on the ship?
Yeah. Nobody notices. Yeah.
Like that these people can just hide in the back that entire time and no one's gonna notice them. Well, and I gotta go back. The fucking old man. Like, what the fuck? This guy's never. Apparently, all of this is canon. This guy's never been mentioned in any of the fucking films yet. Now he is like
Lockwood.
John Hammond's surrogate that was always there and like cares just as much about the dinosaurs and walks around with the same goddamn cane.
Who the fuck knew there was another cane? I thought that was a one-of-a-kind amber piece. Also, Bryce Dallas Howard was the one that opens the cages for the dinos, and then at the gas moment, she's like, no, we're just gonna let them die. Like, what are you doing, Bryce? Why do you even want to save these dinosaurs? You didn't know shit the first movie. You didn't know what you were doing. There's
a lot.
Everything's just too convenient.
The best part in my theater was like when they kissed and they did that forced kiss.
Oh,
like this girl next to me, she's like, oh, really? Like out loud. I was like, yeah, I'm with you, sister.
At least the first one, again, going back to the first one, at least the first one was kind of like meta in that Chris Pratt was supposed to be like your Han Solo.
Right.
Like it was almost like a commentary, like this is the typical action hero. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Like You know, it was all like a little bit of a commentary. Now he's back, but he's got nothing really to do.
Nope.
And like him and him and Bryce Dallas Howard again are going after, like, all of a sudden they care for this kid. Like this kid was like a part of their lives
for no reason.
And it's just like, you just met this fucking kid. And you find out she's a clone, and you're just like, oh, okay.
You don't even know if that she's human.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, she could be.
And it's just like, the Jurassic World formula is like, you always have a little fucking kid in these movies. And it's like, this one's like, okay, we'll throw a kid. How can we make it different? Clone.
I was glad that there was no real super kiddie stuff in this.
Yeah.
Like, they left it for one scene of her, like, going away from this dinosaur. And then as soon as the dinosaur comes in the room, you got Chris Pratt gunning it down. So it's like...
I mean, this is why I like this movie a little bit better. Well, mainly because of the action. I really enjoyed the action. It's a little bit darker, but, like, it's so dumb and they don't care. So, like, it's entertainingly bad. Like,
it's like they tried to make it more serious and make you, like, think about shit, like animals and whether they have any kind of rights. But they undercut it with such stupidity that you can't even take it seriously.
Yeah, the cloning thing is something they could have really gotten into, but they, like Greg Boy said, they just keep undercutting that shit.
They didn't know what they wanted to do, and you can just make more dinosaurs, people. Why?
But I will give them. I mean, the haunted house thing was not something I thought I would see in a fucking Jurassic World.
That reminded me of the second movie a little bit. Like there were shades of Lost World.
I mean, but even like they do it like, or we're gonna go full out Amityville horror.
Backlighting, like the backlighting of, and you see the silhouette, but I thought the scares worked. The scares worked for me.
Yeah,
I thought it was directed better, visually kind of. I like the practical stuff that they had. I did enjoy some of the like staging of how the action works and everything, but I just thought that. All around, the writing was so bad, the story in itself was so terrible that, like, even directing couldn't save this movie. You had to rewrite this movie.
And it dragged. Every time there was no dinosaurs, it just seemed so long. Like, it seemed longer than it was.
Scripts are so important. I don't understand why people don't care about scripts.
That's why just cut out the story. Just show me fucking dinosaurs eating people.
It seems like to me, they were like, we really want to get crazy. We want the most we don't want to get to the most interesting stuff yet because
what was the craziest thing that happened in this movie?
The clone.
And a volcano exploded.
The volcano was crazy. The clone was a crazy twist.
I think they're trying to get to the
visually crazy. There was nothing really visually crazy.
I mean, in the beginning,
at least in the last one, you had like a dinosaur battle that was pretty epic.
Right. That was my biggest disappointment.
Yeah.
The third act, there wasn't a big battle that I could really get behind.
They're just.
I thought that there were something else that they were working on that they didn't. They could have had one more thing,
right?
You know,
well, they didn't build up. I mean, the third act, the villain besides the humans is that dinosaur, the Indoraptor.
Oh wait, this guy. I kind of know what he's saying. Okay, go ahead.
Right.
The Indoraptor, but they didn't build up the Indoraptor enough to be like. At least in the last one, the Indominus Rex was the villain right from the beginning. He killed someone right in the first act, and he's this unstoppable tank. Whereas this one, they introduce him in the third act, and he dies in the third act. And then one more thing is, I think this movie, they want to get to like the craziness of maybe like a dinosaur world.
Yeah.
But they didn't want to do that in this film because they don't have enough plot. So they're like, what can we do to bridge the gap from Jurassic World to like a crazy world of dinosaurs living with humans? All right, let's just go like balls to the wall and throw shit against the wall. And that's exactly what they did, and it didn't work.
So the park is done now. There's no more park.
Park is gone.
No more
park. At least
park.
the park is fucking gone.
But there's that other island where he wanted to. Why didn't he just put him there? The other island where he's
there's also the fact that if everything's canon, there's actually two islands. There's Isla Sorna and Isla Nublar.
Yeah, the other one where it's supposed to be like a sanctuary where nobody goes and it's just for the dinosaurs, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So there's actually should be more dinosaurs on another island.
Oh shit, they could do that.
Well, because the Lost World in Jurassic Park 3 is on the other island.
Oh, okay, that's the other island.
The thing that always mystified me is why they made winged or water-faring dinos, because they could easily leave the island.
Yeah, and they do. Like
anything that's landlocked is fine.
Why aren't there pterodactyls flying around everywhere? Like,
they should be everywhere. Yeah. They're flying for free. What's going to stop them?
I mean,
that didn't make sense either.
No.
the pterodactyls were released in Jurassic World.
Yes.
And yet they
They're
all
still there.
stuck to the island.
Like, well, where there's food here, so I don't know. They should have already left. And I mean, the mosasaur shot under the
that was cool.
The surfers was kind of fun.
That's like good examples of good cinematography.
Good visuals. You're like, holy fuck! But like, there's nothing holding it together. And then Jeff Goldblum is like, I said 3 lines. Give me my $10 million. I'm out. That post-credit scene is a franchise first, so they're trying to pull a Marvel. But all right, look, let's just fucking.
Where does it stack up in all your Jurassic
Let's score the
Park
movies, and where does it stack up? Give me a number. I don't even know if I can. I don't know. Who wants to go first?
I'm like, I don't know if I changed my mind. I think Anthony might have changed my mind.
I'm sorry if if you really like this, I'm sorry.
I'll give you a number. This is like a 6.5. But where does it stack in terms of what is it? 5 movies now? It's at the bottom. I don't know.
5 movies.
Second to the bottom. I don't know.
I would go 4.5.
Oh boy.
Out of 10, and I would go. I think this is probably the bottom. I mean, it's either this or Lost World for me, and I think this one's worse.
Okay, Ruggs.
Wow. Okay. I don't know. I was gonna put the. I don't even remember seeing the Lost World.
It's not.
So
good.
that's how much. I mean, I used to remember Jurassic World.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's more memorable to me. And I remember Jurassic Park because of the Spinosaurs.
Yep.
And I don't know. I think it's tied with Jurassic World for me. I thought it was a little bit ahead, but now Anthony knocked it back down for me.
I'm like it. I'm rethinking.
It's just as bad.
Nothing. Like anytime you think about something, you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, you can't think about it. But if you just,
I was just spellbound by the directing. I thought the directing was good.
Directing was good. That's what I really enjoyed. The ride.
has an eye for really filming things.
Like and it was tense.
And there was an emotional content to it. When I saw the monsters, I mean the dinosaurs have to die. I felt that there was was poignant.
Yeah, he knows how to do that well.
And there was some certain things like that were actually very well done.
You got people crying over the Brachiosaurus. I mean,
he draws emotion out of a lot of his like that. The shot with the baby Triceratops. I was like, oh, wow, it's kind of sad.
Yeah,
like the way he shot the animals in the cages, and then like the shadows of the monsters fighting or the dinos fighting, I thought were really good.
Yeah, and that scene with the Onyx or whatever,
Baryonyx, that was good too. Yeah,
Onyx,
where he's like poking his head, and there was lava falling on him, and he was like, getting burned.
That was great. Yeah,
and the lava briefly illuminates him.
Yes, some great horror movie moments there.
Yeah, that was a good suspenseful, tight part.
Dude, that kid, I thought that kid was going to get eaten in that one scene.
Killed by that kid yelling like a fucking woman.
He's like, ah! I thought he totally was going to get eaten right there. And of course he gets away.
So I thought that there was some good stuff there. I don't know. I guess when you put it in perspective how bad the writing was,
dumb.
How epically bad it was, it's like I can't give it a pass now. Even though, like, it's like, you know what it is? It's like this guy directed the shit out of this movie, but it was just a terrible movie.
Unfortunately, it's not his fault. I think you got to blame the Colin Trevorrow and Derek Connolly.
Yeah, Colin Trevorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, it is very clear to me that Colin Trevorrow caught lightning in a bottle with that Jurassic World. He didn't. That movie wasn't very good, and that's one of the parts of Star Wars where Kathleen Kennedy got rid of her. Where I am like, you know what, that was probably the right move.
He was
supposed to do episode 9.
He was gonna do the next movie, and a lot of like this first movie world and this one, it kind of reminds me of like what's going on with these Star Wars movies.
Because if he's fucking writing bullshit like this, can you imagine what he would have done?
Holy
in Star
shit!
Wars
And if
episode 9?
and if you had Rian Johnson fucking things up his way, I don't know what Trevor would have fucked that up. Again, it's a world where you make one little movie and now you get a big giant fucking franchise because I don't know, just because you do. So he has this it's movie arc. Obviously, he's been trying to get to the literal Jurassic World, and I don't know if the next one just gets super crazy. It's got to just get super crazy and nuts. I don't know how.
I mean, it's not going to make sense that it's a world full of dinosaurs, but if they go that route, that's probably the most interesting thing you can do.
They have to make up some bullshit about how they can like reproduce. Like one dinosaur grew both parts, and now they can. I don't know.
It fucked itself.
Yeah, they'd have to make something stupid.
They'd have to go with like the dinosaurs become asexual when there's no predator, when there's no mates around.
Yeah, yeah, or like seahorses and like the men.
Yeah.
The men.
Well,
get pregnant.
maybe they're just gender fluid.
Yeah, they're gender fluid. They go back and forth.
They can always explain it now that they've like introduced gene splicing. They'll be like, well, we also introduced seahorse DNA to these dinosaurs just in case we couldn't reproduce them.
Here's what you do. The next bad guy like kidnaps Dr. Wu and makes him make a female and breeds them to spread them out and weaponize them. And of course, it all backfires on him. It's going to be the same movie.
I don't know.
It's funny to me that Dr. Wu is the fucking through thread.
Fucking Dr. Wu.
Like in the first film, he had such a minor part.
Yeah.
Where he's just there when the fucking raptor is being born. He's like just giving them a little information, and like now he's this evil bad guy.
Yes. Yeah, it's a reach. Ruggs, did you give it a number?
I think I'm going to give it a 5.5.
Okay. That's a good number. You're being, again, best part, Indo rapper. Dope.
I'm getting more into the Indo.
You got to hit the yeah right as soon as you.
Let's see how this works. I'm going to do a little quick mix.
You got to do a mix.
Okay, here we go.
Name one thing he said in there.
He's something about my something was something. Hold on. Let me try again. Okay, he's talking about making tea. Chai. He said chai, which is
he says
tea.
he don't use forks and he don't use spoons.
I don't know. Indo rappers are the best. All right, look, I have one piece of speak pipe in our mailbag section. Believe it or not, people are still sending us speak pipes. It's from our buddy Joe, formerly Joe from work. Joe S. There's his.
Hey guys, I just finished Legion Season 2. What'd you guys think of it? Also, I'm not familiar with any of the comics, so if you guys are, what are the Shadow King's origins? Who else is he faced off against? And what storylines, if any, are relevant to the show and what may happen here Season 3? Alright? I'm on Anthony and miss you boys, but wear my fucking stickers, okay? Take care.
Fucking nerd. Okay,
that's a perfect speak.
Right, 23 seconds, right to the point. Let's work backwards. Joe, I was gonna save a stamp and give you the stickers at work, and then I show up at work and you no longer work there. So I did get his mailing address. I mailed them today, Joe, buddy. You'll be getting stickers. Regarding Legion, I got nothing for you. I haven't finished the season yet.
I watched one episode and that's
I
it.
got like 5 left of the season.
Can you give him something? Like, it's good?
It's good, but you know what I noticed? This
you can answer about the Shadow King, though.
I want to answer this trend about something that reminds me of Westworld and Legion is they are both shows that I don't know what the fuck is going on a lot of the time, but
I do.
They're entertaining. They're visually great, but there are parts of both shows where I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm watching or what, but it's pretty fucking cool. It's like sometimes I feel too stupid or the show is too smart.
You know, well, Westworld jumps around in time, and so does this as well. Yeah. And I think that I start to hate that after a while because
it gets gimmicky.
When you know what time they're in, it's fine. But then they start fucking with you, and like you don't know what time that they're in now. Like it could be any time. It could be the future. It could be I don't know what the fuck it could be. And so then that starts annoying.
I have to rewatch the season finale of Westworld because I did watch it. It's 5 different timelines cut through this thing, and you don't know what timeline is what. It's
we got to do a
fucking
review
confusing.
Of that
Legion, I will get to, and the Shadow King is from the comics. I don't know. I heard that season finale is actually pretty wacky. So Joe, I'm gonna wait. Let me finish the season. I'll give you something. I got nothing, but it's just a lot of shit to watch. I started watching Luke Cage. And then I was like, fuck, I forgot about Legion.
I want to watch Nick Cage, the series.
Nick Cage.
Imagine there was just a series of Nick Cage.
Just a reality show
Nick Cage.
of Nick Cage.
No, like him fighting crime.
Oh.
Like he just decides that he wants to fight crime.
What setting? Where would you set Nick Cage in? Like Luke Cage is in Harlem. It would just be set in
reality. Like wherever he actually lives. Like he just one day he's like, fuck it. I'm done with movies. Before I get too old, I'm just gonna kick some ass. I'm just gonna start fucking with.
Lives in the suburbs.
He just rolls up on some like gangsters and starts beating their ass.
Nicolas Cage resides. If you Google research it in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh, he can.
He goes and fucks up some pimps.
He forces his son to wear like a Superman outfit because his name is Kal-El and fight with him.
Yeah.
and distract people.
I just want to see Crazy Eyes Nick Cage one more time.
Yeah. Well, you'll see him again. We're not done with the Nick Cage. There's still stuff for him to do.
Is there, though?
There always is. With Nick Cage, he'll find
You
something.
always have Kick-Ass Part 1.
That's true.
Oh, yeah. That was like the last good Cage, wasn't it?
We're supposed to review Ghost Rider at some
We'll
point.
do that for the Patreon. Let me end with
Someday.
this. This is the hot debate on Twitter. The debate started between Mark Hamill and Chris Evans. Let's just get quick thoughts. Can a lightsaber cut through Captain America's vibranium shield?
Oh, shit.
Yes or no, Ruggs?
Yeah.
Anthony?
I'm going to steal. I saw Mark Hamill's answer to it.
Yeah.
I'm going to steal that. It depends what universe we're in.
Okay, so Mark Hamill said in the Marvel universe, no way. In the Star Wars universe, absolutely. Cuts it up into 100 pieces, to which Chris Evans was like, that was foolish. Now I have 100 vibranium ninja stars to throw at you. I was like, oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. But I thought it would cut right through the fucking...
No, I don't think it would cut like butter.
Oh, you'd have
but
to
I think
hold it
would,
there.
Yeah, I think you could definitely get it through. Like, if you watch the prequels, they use a lightsaber to cut through a door.
Right.
It doesn't just like one, they have to stick it in there, get it hot, and then start working.
It's like using a blowtorch. Like if you were to use a blowtorch. I think eventually it would, but by that time, like Cap would have taken you down, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think... It would definitely be probably harder to cut through than that blast door, but it would still be able to be cut.
I don't know. Initially,
I feel like Captain America would wipe the floor.
Yeah,
with Luke Skywalker.
yeah, probably. Well, Luke Skywalker, like
I guess
don't know.
Well, maybe I guess never mind. You can use the Force and crush people's necks with the Force, right?
Right. So he wouldn't even get close to Luke. Luke would just be like, boom, stop right there, and then just fucking choke
Darth
him up.
Vader would kick the shit. I mean, Darth Vader beat up Batman.
Well, that we had that great post about Bat in the Sun on our Facebook post. You check out the videos of Darth Vader versus Batman. It's really
Those are well done.
Those
I've
are
never
really
seen those
good.
before.
Oh, really? You didn't know about Bat in the Sun?
Oh yeah,
it's some good.
They did the
shit.
Valiant. They did that Valiant show.
Yeah, the Valiant
that they took
universe.
down
Yeah.
immediately.
How do they have the money for? Never mind. We're not going to.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but it's well done with a lot
That's
of
what I'm
care.
saying. How do
Darth
they have the money
Vader
for that?
versus
I think they have Patreons.
Oh,
dude. And these days,
Yeah.
if you have After Effects and good green screen, you can make a lot of shit in your fucking bedroom. Like you can cut a lot
but
of.
they're clearly going to a lot of like some of that's filmed
location. Yeah.
And they got great costumes.
Yeah, the costumes are pretty top notch. Check out Bat in the Sun on the
Although
YouTube.
Thor's costume, the guy they cast for Thor, I had to like have a little bit of a pause on that. I was like, this Thor sucks.
I think they use the same guys for everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Jason Frank though played Ninjak. The Green Ranger.
Yeah.
All right, that's the show. Ruggs, where can the listener find you?
You can find me getting into entanglements with Drew McWeeny. And Movie Bob.
Movie Bob?
Of all people.
Have you really? I like Movie Bob.
Yeah.
Why are you pissing him
has
off?
Movie Bob responded to you?
He liked something in the conversation and then was being retweeted. So he's included in the argument.
Piss him off and then let's get him on the show. How about that?
No,
Can we do that?
basically, he agrees with Drew McWeeny that I should shut the fuck up and just, I don't know shit, and that Grace Randolph is making bullshit up. And I said, I didn't say that she was right. I just said, listen, people are going to think that she's got an audience. They're going to believe her.
Is this from this week?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
At Really Rug Boy on Twitter, listener. Definitely follow. Give him a follow. It's very entertaining. If he's not pissing off Cardi B fans.
I'll get Movie Bob on the show.
That
would be awesome.
Mike Rips agrees, approves.
I got Marlene on.
Got
I'll get him
Marlene,
on.
get Movie
I'll get
Bob.
everybody. I'll get Chris Hardwick on. I'll get everybody.
Oh, shit. Give it some time on the Hardwick. We'll get him on. Look, listener, thanks for listening to the Jock and Nerd podcast. If you want to buy a t-shirt or some merch, just visit.
It'd be easy to get now.
What does he do? jockandnerd.com/shop for official merchandise. This has been the Jock and Nerd podcast. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's a nerd.
We'll peep you next week, yo.
Take us out with some Indo rap.
दे गाली अगर मापे दे ये सब जंगल की परछाई है बकरियों के भीड़ में या मंत्रिया कसाई है तो आइए हम खुद ही सिपाही है रक्षक के नाम पे या मामा लोग भाई है
That's how you end the show.
Damn straight.
Indo Imran.
We've
spliced Imran's DNA with the Indominus Rex, and we have now invented the latest killing machine.
Who wants to start the bidding?
This is a prototype. You aim your laser, he will blow you up. This is the Indo-Imran.
Dr. Wu, what the fuck are you doing? You didn't learn your lesson the last time?
This is the Indo-Imran.
Hello?
Just came up with it.
The Indo-Imran has no neck or belly, so he has no soft places to scratch or bite.
Unstoppable. His fat serves as an armor.
What do we make of an Imran again?